Dude, you stink. This is Act My Age, lessons from a guy who's old enough to know better. I'm Brother Russ. Today's topic, body odor. I can feel the enthusiasm right now. Seriously, body odor sucks, okay? And it's one of those problems that some of us have. I've had it for a long time. I finally found out some ways to deal with it. You know, if you listen to the commercials on TV, they got all sorts of answers for you. You know, obviously bathe, use a high-quality deodorant. For halitosis, you know, you got to use your mouthwash and stuff like this. You want to brush your teeth, definitely brush your teeth when halitosis is coming in. You got breath mints. And then when you're all done, you know, you want some like high-quality fragrance to go on top of it all. That's all well and good. But it all kind of misses the point. The point is there's a lot of body odor both in the mouth and on the body itself that comes from inside the body. And if we put all these surface things on, we wash it, we clean it, that's cool, but we're still generating it. It's still coming out. We need to deal with the root cause. And I'm going to give you two methods of dealing with that root cause that are incredibly effective. One is much harder than the other, or at least, well, it's more difficult. One's actually really, really easy. I'm going to start with the hard one. The hard one is to up your veg game. And what do I mean by that? If you grew up where your average meal on the plate is a slab of meat and maybe some potato or something like this over on the side, and maybe way over in the corner there's a tiny bit of vegetation, if none at all. I mean, if you do fast food a lot, you know, vegetation is like 2 strips of lettuce on a bun. That ain't vegetation, man. When you have all of that meat and no veg, or little veg, that makes for a stinky tummy. I mean, think about it. Your average carnivore has a very short intestinal tract. Why? Because meat rots. And you don't want rot inside of you. The longer the meat is in there, the more it's rotting inside of you. So, an average carnivore, a lot of them have digestion that takes hours. I mean, my late wife kept ferrets. I think I forget what the textbook is, but it's like 4 to 6 hours is all that it takes for meat to go into one end of the animal and come out the other end of the animal. The human digestional tract, however, is a lot longer. Why? Because we are created to eat meat, but also to eat vegetables. And so we retain food longer because it takes longer to process vegetables, to break them down, etc. like this. You know, any sort of vegetable-based animal has a longer digestive tract, longer than we do, most of them anyway. So we are retaining this meat a lot longer than we should inside, and that's what generates halitosis. It also can make for stinky sweat. So if you reduce the amount of meat on your plate and you up your veg game, you're actually reducing the amount of odor. Lots of evidence, and including my own background for a while, was totally vegan, probably going to go back in that sort of direction again for health reasons. But your smell changes entirely. When you're eating more vegetables and almost no meat, the body odor changes entirely. And that is really an interesting thing. So, I mean, think about it this way. You know, if you've been to a really good Chinese restaurant, I don't mean one that's so horribly Americanized that it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, McKung Fu chicken or something like this. But, you know, really, a really sort of traditional thing. You see on a more traditional Chinese plate, generally a lot of vegetables. You'll see a starch like either noodles or rice. And then there's sort of meat mixed in. And the meat's there, but it's there to give flavor, not to be a 24-ounce porterhouse with a little potato on the side. It's that balance that makes all the difference. So go higher veg. If you can eliminate the meat, you're going to smell best. But if you can't eliminate the meat, then just rebalance the meat. Make the meat go down lower on the plate. That's the hard way. It's actually the better way too, but that's a subject for a different day. But there is an easy way, and the easy way is right over here. Chlorophyll. This stuff is amazing. And let me tell you a story. My father was a bomber pilot during the Second World War. And before the war, he said, you know, there used to be a time when you didn't have all of these products for breath, you didn't have products for sweat, you didn't have products for any of this stuff. You had chlorophyll. You could go down to the local drugstore, get yourself some chlorophyll. You take some of this stuff and it just disinfect your whole body. He said it was great. Then after the war, he noticed couldn't get this anymore. Suddenly this was gone from the shelves. And what was in the shelves instead? You had products like this. You had products like this. You had products like this. All these products which didn't really exist in mass before are here. And what can we say about those products? Those products are expensive and they don't necessarily work too well. So you gotta buy a lot of them. So there's a lot of financial reasons to be buying, you know, products like this. But it doesn't work as well as this. And just a few years ago, after, you know, wrestling with body odor and stuff like this, eating too much meat, et cetera, over the years, I happened to be looking for a supplement on Amazon, just incidentally, and I came across chlorophyll. And I remembered the discussion I had with my father, and that discussion, that's like 40 years ago. But I thought, what the hey, you know, this bottle, like $15, something like this, somewhere in that neighborhood, for 90 veg caps. So this is a 90-day supply. So you're talking about $5 a month. $5 a month, not for a supplement, but to keep your honey bunny happy, so she won't wrinkle her nose every time you walk in the room, so that you go to kiss her and she doesn't, you know, flinch. This sort of thing. This helps. This is huge. Give it a whirl. This brand, I mean, I'm not endorsing the brand. I'm not paid. I don't have anything like that. It's called Protocol. I just mentioned that. If I think about it, I'll try to put a link down inside the video below. But this particular brand seems to work pretty well. I have family members that were trying Chlorophyll, a different brand. They said it didn't work as well as this one. If you find a brand that works better, put comments inside below the video, please. Share it with people, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need to know this. And you know, should you be doing these other things? Sure. You know, go ahead and take care of yourself, and certainly be bathing regularly. Look into, you know, good quality fragrance if that's your thing. That's actually you know, can be a really nice thing. You find something that that your lady likes, etc. But start from the inside. You know, clean up the diet, veg up the diet a bit. Do some chlorophyll. Really simple. 1 capsule in the morning, done. And you'll notice the difference pretty quick, I bet you. So, do you have any other tips by that? Do you know any other supplements or anything like this that will help? Or maybe a brand of chlorophyll that really, really seems to work for you? Down below, please put the comments in. Please like, subscribe, new channel. Trying to spread the word that, you know, there are some things, some knowledge has kind of been lost over the years, because we're listening to commercials. We're listening to all this commercial TV which wants to sell us stuff. And sometimes the best solutions aren't the most expensive solutions. They can actually be pretty cheap and easy to deal with. So, talk to you next time.